The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the Anishinaabe Nation. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ooh wee, that's a cool song. You know what? I gotta say, it's always hard to find a really good song to start to sing because honestly, you gotta pick the right mood, the right style, the right flow. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Bonjour, Anin. Welcome to Anishinaabe TV podcast. I'm your host, Makwa Enene. And in the translation of my people, that means bear man. And of course, as always, I shall do my formal introduction as the Anishinaabe of the First Nations around here. So, Melagard Nadishnakas, Makwa Inana, Indigo, Makwa Indodum, Long Lake 58 Indojaba, Thunder Bay, and Da, which basically what that means is my name is Melagard. The spirits know me as Bear Man. I am from the Bear Clan. My home community is Long Lake 58, and I live in Thunder Bay. So, you guys just want to have fun? Okay, so my first podcast was a sort of mishmash of what to talk about, and I don't know what to really. I was sort of winging it, the first one. So if you guys are gonna look at the first episode, it's always about just trying to figure it out, and that's what I'm trying to figure it out along the way. But this one, I think I'm gonna have a little bit more fun with it. Because I'm going to try and figure this whole thing out. And I honestly, I always enjoy having fun. I mean, I enjoy it because you know what? It's a release. We have stressful lives. We have stressful moments. We get 9 to 5, go to work, and we do all these different things. And it's something that's completely. You get me? You get me? I get you. You know, I get me too. You know, and so that's one of the things that I try to do is enjoy life as much as I can. And I think you know what, when we go outside the door, when we're going out to our 9 to 5s and we're meeting our friends over again, we put our moccasins on, and this is where I'm going to coin the phrase: put on your laughing moccasins. This episode is about laughing moccasins, having fun. And hey, you know what? You got it. You got it. Like you have 8 hours or 12 hours a day kind of thing, and you're gonna try and enjoy your time while they're out there. I, on the other hand, always try to have fun anywhere I go and enjoy things as they are. And I really enjoy making friends, meeting people, going out there, and just generally enjoying life itself. I think. That's the spiritual medicine that has been calling me and calling everybody else, is that you need to have fun and enjoy your moments. And that's what it is, these little moments. I know people out there are struggling. They're struggling mentally, they're struggling emotionally, and all these different things. But there's always that silver lining somewhere in their time, in their niche in things. And you gotta try and find that little, say, you know what? It's not too bad. It isn't that bad at all. And so that's what I mean. Like here, listen to the song. Yeah. Right? Ooh. And that's what should keep it going on. Something in the music within you that goes on. And you know what? Whenever I go out, you'll always see me with my headphones on, but I'm always listening to something in there. And when I go back in the day kind of thing, I try and listen to some 80s. 80s? Yeah, but no, what we have 80s, can't go wrong with it. Can't go wrong with it. But then again, you know what? I like to listen to all kinds of other stuff. I listen to soundtracks. I enjoy actually a lot of soundtracks, really. When I study something and I really research something, I listen to soundtracks. I'm not sure what you guys do for that, but they always say that if you really want to stimulate your mind, you should always listen to classical music. And that's actually a proven fact. I think somewhere. I think I read that somewhere. And you always hear about people. And I listen to heavy metal. I love metal. I love my Slayers and my Slipknots and stuff like that. But I always read that the most honest people in the world are those people who listen to heavy metal. Yeah, it's something interesting about that. I just wish I knew where that was. So let's talk about for a second here. Just making friends. Now, when I was a kid growing up, it was pretty easy making a friend. I think it was a pretty fun thing. I mean, I still got friends of mine as are kids to this day, and I enjoy seeing them. I mean, I wish I can see them a lot more than I usually do, but I mean, that's just the way it is because life is 9 to 5, and so that's just what I was thinking about because I think about the people I meet along. But then again, you know what? I like to make new friends. Now, it's not like adding a popularity contest thing to who I am, but I like to meet people. I'm really curious about people. And every so often I find something that or someone person is really cool and stuff like that. And so that's just every day. But you know what? Uh, on the downside of it, we don't have enough time to actually hang out with people, and that's sort of a sad thing because you see them, you'll see her post something. I just seen a friend of mine who posted that she's up in Alberta everywhere, and Alberta is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful part of the provinces. It's the mountains and stuff like that. You just can't take that away. But I mean, I stuck at her picture and I'm like, I miss that person, man. I wish I could just chill with her for a bit. And here's the other part. Okay, I'm gonna give a little bit of, I give myself a little shit for this one, but I sometimes make plans and I just don't follow through with it. And I'm like, oh no, I forgot because my schedule, my squirrel brain, my little mind just gets a little bit too frantic, and I'm like, dang, damn it, shoot, I forgot about that person. Or even scheduling like appointments for seeing doctors and nurses and stuff. Oh my god, I gotta get it. I have to have a secretary to tell me where I'm going at almost every day because that's just something I am. I don't know why I'm like that, but I mean, you schedule yourself so much. I mean, I would make a terrible, terrible administrator somewhere. Like, oh hey, by the way, you forgot to go to that meeting. What meeting? You know, that's just what it is. Again, like I said, you just kind of have to have your time management. Yeah, I'm terrible for that. But as I said before, having fun. Just okay. So let's talk about for a second again to touch up on friends and stuff like that. I really think about the people that are in my Facebook groups and people I just meet and stuff like that. And you going out there and you're making seeing them, and again you have your laughing moccasins on you, and you're trying to enjoy these moments and stuff like that. And you know what? That's you got to try something where you're trying to not think about. I know we think about doom and gloom, and that's just the way it is. And I I think to myself, you know what? I don't want that when I'm in my shoes because my moccasins. I don't want those kind of stones in my moccasins. I really don't. I I know it's there. I'm not lying to you. It's not. I know it's there, and it's tough. And The upside is that it doesn't last long. These types of moments never last that long because, if it did last long, my God, it's just the rut of it all. Uh, and so, having those moccasins on, you're going out there. I'm looking at my Crocs. That's why I'm looking at I'm ridiculous. I love these yellow Crocs I got on. I got these cream color Crocs on. I have all these kind of little weird stuff on there. Um, my thing about that is that I always trying to, like, you know, show off. That's what I do. I try to show off. I go out there and I dress my obscureness and I'm going out to my day. And you can always tell it's me because, like, creep. Like Christ, this is just this guy coming in there with his big oversized heavy metal vest on, or, something I'm wearing. Just looking cool. I don't know. But I look out for people. I mean, sometimes when I'm ever at the mall or something, I just look at people and kind of wonder what they're going through and stuff like that. And it's gotta be tough. It's gotta be tough. But like I said, let's just try to have a little fun with this thing here. So, fun thing number one. Always laugh. Just laugh. Laugh at something. Laugh at yourself. Laugh at these little moments in time. Because you just want to enjoy the fun of everything. I mean, I try to as much as I can. I enjoy these things. Number two. Enjoy food. You know what? Food. Having a good meal. Eating something great. That's a part too. That's where you really come down to it, eh? And so that's good medicine. That's some good medicine in there. But mind eat healthy. I know a lot of our diabetic listeners out there are listening to us, and I'm saying, you know what? Same thing with me. I'm terrible for that. God, just looking at some pictures, my diabetic numbers just shoot right up when I look at it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, and I think, honestly, number three is, enjoy whatever it is you're making, or drumming, or singing, or dancing. A good power song or a good ceremony. That's a really good way of enjoying your moments. That's the one thing. That's number three in all that. You gotta have those little ceremonies in life, and you gotta have those times of you in spirit, and you and the great spirits and stuff like that. The manitudes out there. And always good to always talk to your elders and someone who's your spiritual leader or advisor or something like that, because it's always is. And honestly, I think this is the part where it's kind of a little bit hard. I think, what am I, number four? Number four, I think letting things go. I think that's a tough part about laughing, having good medicine, is letting things go, because I don't want to carry things. I don't want to really carry these horrible little things around me, because it just doesn't help out my soul. It doesn't help out the spirits with me. And that's what it is. People talk about these things. I always hear these comments about things in life, and I'm like, ugh, you know what, man? Just let it go. If that ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend out there is causing stuff, you know what? You live your life fully. You live happy. You live, enjoy it. You enjoy your kids. You enjoy your time. You enjoy your kokum, your mishomas. You have to find these little moments in here. And yeah, you know what? Honestly, number five, this is going to be kind of weird to say, but enjoy your seasons. Now, I always hear about these things about seasonal depression. I always hear about that. And yeah, you know what? I gotta say, my summer times, I really try to enjoy these hot days, because I don't like getting up in the cold. Mind you, I don't mind wearing sweaters and hoodies, but I just don't want to wear. I just don't want to be cold. I just don't do that. And most of all, I think myself, these seasonal things, there's always something to do every time. For example, if you're in the fall time, you're a hunter, you're a gatherer, so you go hunting, and that's enjoyable sport to do, because that's a family thing too as well. Because I mean, if you're going to teach your kids how to hunt, hey, that's a good medicine right there. That's just winning the battles of life itself. And then you got, of course, the beautiful fall colors, the weather, the mid cold and warmth of it all. I always hear people when they drive, They enjoy that drive. They enjoy that weather, the trees, how they look, that really beautiful mystical look thing, you know. And then of course wintertime, skiing, snowmobiling, snowshoeing. Yeah, but then again, you know what? That other part where it's like, that weather just turns nasty. Yeah. There's not much else I can say about that, you know. And then you got spring. Yeah, you know, the spirits are waking up. Oh, geez, the Manitous are starting to be awake again, and the earth is saying bonjour, oh. And then of course you got summer, power season, and you're going traveling, and you're camping, and you're doing all these different things. So you see, having fun is everywhere. Just having a good laugh. My God, man. You know, this is why sometimes I think I have a sister of mine. I really love my sister, and I always send her these really weird, awkward videos and stuff like that. But I love her laughter, and that's just what it is. We have this really awkward, I don't know, humor. I wouldn't say it's dark humor, but it's really ridiculous humor. And so I'll always send her some videos and stuff like that. And I always send my other sisters like stuff as well, you know, because I always try and make them cheer them up in these different areas and stuff like that. And again, you know, just trying to make friends and yeah, I gotta say, having relationships with friends too is also a pretty tricky thing because friends don't really last long. I don't get that. I don't know why friends don't get like you can't make like lifelong friends. But there's a study that puts out there that if you're out there, what's the study go? Something like that. If they last more than 5 years or something like that, then boom, they become like your acquaintances or friends lifetime fact. But you know what? I gotta say, the people when I look at my Facebook, and this is kind of honestly, I got a lot of younger friends. I got a lot of younger people, like 10 years younger than I am, you know, and I think when I first met them, they're all kids and stuff like that. I mean, not like I was hanging out with people, but I mean just people you hang out with, and so you're hanging out with people, and all of a sudden they grow up, and you grow up, and everybody's growing up and stuff like that. And then and you see them. Then you know your friends are now having kids and stuff like that, and you're having kids, and then you see all of them, and just life is like that. You know, I have such a wide variety of friendships everywhere from age wise, and it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. You gotta. I'm always open. I try and stay open. And then of course you see the, and then of course you see the friend that didn't work out, and you see them, and you're like, oh man, I wish that worked out. Yeah, I have some people like that. Honestly, I have some friends who are like that. And then again, I got a friend of mine, I got ex friend of mine who just wasn't a very good person. I just find people thought I thought you guys started hung up being cool and stuff like that. I said, honestly, he just wasn't a really good friend. He just kind of sold me out in a sense, and it's disappointing. But you know what? That's just the way it is. And again, those are those little stones in your moccasins, those little moccasins you have. I always encourage people to clean out your moccasins every so often because that's just what it is. And I just think to myself, you know, what the heck? You can't keep these things. It's the spirits in you that just don't want to keep up with these moments. And the Manitous out there, those teachers and so on, they don't want you having that. They want you to be spiritually free. They want you to be having a great time with things. And they want you. That's why you never see, like, in Nishnabek people, we're always laughing about something. Man, you know what? You have that really good laugh. I remember seeing this video of Don Burnstick, hashtag Don Burnstick. Anyways, he's talking about how Native people laugh. Sometimes they laugh and they're like, and they just can't say nothing. Or sometimes they whack each other. That's good. That's some real good medicine there. There's some real truth in that. There's some, or even others where they're like laughing so hard they end up passing gas. My God, man! I remember just hearing a friend of mine, and he's just laughing so hard, and someone just farted. I'm like, and that made more hilarious. Like that's just what it is. And yeah, it's a seriousness of life. Sometimes you gotta enjoy these little moments. Again, I was looking at my little AIs out there for ideas and stuff like that. And this is what it comes down to. Like, listen to this. This is gonna be interesting to watch. Here we go.
Let's kick things off by exploring why meeting friends is so vital for our well-being. Dr. Mason, what do studies reveal about the impact of social connection on mental health?
Great question. Neuroscientific research shows that regular social interactions stimulates the release of oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone. This chemical not only boosts our mood, but also reduces stress, similar to how exercise releases endorphins.
That's fascinating, so our brains are actually wired for connection. But is there a threshold? For example, does the number of friends matter more, or the depth of those relationships?
Quality trumps quantity. According to a 2020 Harvard study, people with a few close supportive friends reported higher life satisfaction than those with many acquaintances. In fact, meaningful interactions can buffer against anxiety, even during challenging times.
So, it seems investing in deeper friendships pays off. As we transition to the next segment, I'm curious, how do people actually form these bonds in today's fast-paced world? Building on what we've discussed, let's examine practical strategies for forming and sustaining friendships. In a digital age where face-to-face time is limited, what approaches work best?
Intentionality is key. A 2022 Pew survey found that individuals who scheduled regular catch-ups like monthly coffee dates or game nights were 40% more likely to maintain close friendships. Technology can help coordinate these, but in-person meetings still foster deeper trust.
That makes sense. However, sometimes people feel awkward initiating plans, especially after a period of isolation. How can someone break the ice without feeling intrusive?
A helpful analogy is to treat friendship like tending a garden. Consistent small gestures, like sharing an article or checking in, keep connections alive. Even sending a simple text can reopen doors. Remember, most people appreciate the outreach more than we expect.
As we segue into the next topic, let's dive into the role of shared activities in deepening these bonds and creating lasting memories. Dr. Mason, shared activities seem to play a huge role in friendship dynamics. Can you elaborate on why doing things together, from board games to hiking, is so powerful?
Absolutely. Psychologists call this communal engagement. Activities like team sports or creative workshops trigger what's known as synchrony. People's actions and even heart rates align, fostering a sense of belonging. This effect is so strong that even virtual games can induce it, though real-world experiences tend to be more potent.
Interesting. I've heard of groups using escape rooms to boost teamwork. Are there specific types of activities that are more effective at strengthening friendships?
Collaborative challenges like cooking a meal together or tackling a puzzle are particularly effective. A Stanford experiment found that groups engaged in cooperative tasks reported 60% higher feelings of closeness than those in competitive settings. The key is shared success and mutual support.
That's a practical insight. As we move ahead, let's discuss how people can overcome obstacles to having fun, such as busy schedules or social anxieties. Many people struggle to find time for friends or may feel anxious about socializing. What are some evidence-based ways to overcome these barriers and prioritize fun?
Time scarcity is a major hurdle. Research from the University of Chicago suggests micro-socializing brief but meaningful interactions can be just as fulfilling as longer events. Even a 10-minute walk with a friend or a quick video call can reduce loneliness.
That's reassuring for those with packed calendars. But what about social anxiety? Some listeners may worry about being judged or not fitting in.
Exposure therapy principles can help. Start with low-pressure settings, like meeting one-on-one in a comfortable place. Remember, vulnerability often leads to reciprocity. Sharing a personal story can encourage others to open up, deepening trust.
Excellent advice. As we wrap up, what's your final takeaway on the importance of meeting friends and making time for fun?
In sum, friendships aren't just a luxury. They're a cornerstone of health and happiness. Investing in them, even in small ways, pays dividends for both mind and body.
Did you guys get that? That's a lot. That was a lot. And sorry, I didn't mean to make you guys do that, because it was just like, I wanted to put something in there that's really, really smart, but I'm kind of like that. I just don't have the smartness. I have something in my mouth. I'm chewing on it. Sorry. So, in conclusion, having fun out there, basically, and making friends, and your moccasins out there. Life is already tough as is. you know. And again, I want to thank all you guys for supporting this channel. And please add me. I'm trying to grow this thing as best I could. And again, I'm going to be doing various topics from time to time about things. So I'm going to try and put as much as I can into this. I really want people to understand that life out there is, yeah, it's tough. But you know what? Got to have some fun there. You got to have some enjoyment and things like that. Because that's just how it is. And again, support me. This is on my socials up there: Spotify, TikTok, and Facebook. Anishinaabe TV podcast is a channel for all Anishinaabe people out there and others out there. And like I said, I hope all of you guys have the greatest time. And rocking out those tunes there, yo. Rocking out those tunes. Have yourself an amazing, amazing, amazing week.